Hello and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Velo and my personal big picture targets for Velo and just how we're going to get there. So we're starting off here with Velo on the 15-day candlesticks. And what I want to show you guys here is the big picture accumulation cycle. So over here on the left, you can see Velo zoomed out in the bigger time frame, and you can also see these Fibonacci extensions drawn here on the chart. Now, what I'm showing you here is the accumulation cycle. So over here on the right, we also see altcoin, and altcoin did a very similar accumulation cycle as Velo over here on the left. You can see altcoin, when it first got added to exchanges, it got added right at the beginning of a bear market. So altcoin dropped really hard, went down and sideways for a long time. Now, if you look at Velo also got released and added to public exchanges right at the beginning of a massive bear market. It only pumped just a little bit here right at the very start, but then really the big bear market of 2021 and 2022 started, and you can see Velo also dropped off a cliff and went sideways for multiple years. So what I think is going to happen here with Velo is very similar to what happened over here on altcoin. Once that accumulation cycle finally completed, we saw a huge run up over here on altcoin. That was a huge bull market for this coin that took altcoin all the way up to a new all-time high, and we saw a proper bull market for altcoin over here in 2021. Now, what I personally believe is coming for Velo is the exact same thing. We have the same market structure over here on Velo that we saw historically on altcoin, and this is a very common structure in these markets for them to get added to exchanges, especially if they get released right at the beginning of a bear market. A lot of times these coins will fall off a cliff and they will go sideways for a long time, and then out of nowhere they will start these huge bull markets. And that's really because the rest of crypto is starting a bull market, and you see the reflection of that happening in that coin that hasn't had a proper bull market yet. In this case, that would be Velo. Velo has not had a proper bull market yet. We have not seen a large parabolic run. We did see a bit of a run over here in 2020, but nothing like what truly constitutes a bull market. And I believe we will see that for this coin, like a true proper bull market for Velo. So what I'm looking at here in the bigger time frame is a higher high, higher low pattern to start forming, just like what we saw on the early uptrend over here for altcoin. Before altcoin really went parabolic and vertical, it started making higher highs and higher lows. Now we're going to look at Velo on the smaller time frames in a minute, because we do see a very similar structure starting to form on this coin, but that's really what we're looking for in the bigger time frame as well, for a higher high, higher low pattern to continue to form on this coin. And if we do see that, then I do believe we will see a very parabolic run for Velo, just exactly like what we saw over here on altcoin. If it does the same type of a run to what happened over here on altcoin, we could see Velo reach as high as $5 in this parabolic run, which is extremely profitable for anybody that's buying Velo down here at just a little over a penny. So I do believe a big parabolic run could be coming for this coin very soon. We have all of the market structure for it. We have the volume for it. The team is developing this coin continuously, has a huge community, and everything is really set up for this coin to see a massive parabolic run. Now, if we don't go all the way to $5, maybe we top out only at $3, that would still be a huge parabolic run for this coin, especially considering we're only worth just over a penny right now. So this is what I'm seeing in the bigger picture for Velo. Watch for a higher high, higher low pattern, and the fruition of this multi-year accumulation cycle to start to play out. And once it starts to go parabolic, it's going to go very vertical. That's the nature of crypto. These coins can seem like they're not doing anything for a really long time. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just see this huge vertical move where the price goes up like 10,000% or 40 times your money. You know, it's just crazy the type of gains that you can see in the crypto markets after it seems like they're dead and after it seems like nothing is going to happen. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get a huge vertical move and it just completely skyrockets. So that's what I'm expecting for Velo in the bigger picture. My minimum target is $3.50, and my higher end target, if we really see a moonshot for this coin, is closer to $5 per coin. And that would basically be the 5618 Fibonacci extension, just like what we see over here on Telcoin, when Telcoin went completely to the moon after it did its multi-year accumulation cycle. Now, if we drop over to the log scale, we also see a very, very common Elliott wave structure. This is called a leading diagonal. And basically the way this works is the wave one impulse has a rising wedge. So inside of that wave one, you have a rising wedge pattern. And that's why you don't get a normal Elliott wave structure here. Instead, you get a 5-wave impulse inside of a rising wedge. And then you get a wave two inside of the market, which is exactly what we recently saw here with Velo. And then wave three happens. Now, wave three is always going to be more parabolic and more vertical than wave one. So for this coin, I do think wave three should take us all the way up to our old all-time high. And it'll be very exciting and very profitable to ride this coin inside of wave three here. And this Elliott wave cycle also lines up perfectly with my target of $5. As you guys can see, wave five would take us right up to about $5 per Velo, which would be a perfect area for us to be taking profits on this coin. So I'd be taking profits in between wave three and wave five up here, because we will be overextended and overvalued at those levels. And I do believe we will see some type of a correction after we get up to a new all-time high. That's also very common for the crypto markets. You can see over here on Telcoin, once we broke out to a new all-time high, the market did see a big correction after it saw a huge breakout above that level, that old all-time high level. The market did see a very large correction. So I do think we will see a correction, especially after wave five, because according to Elliott wave principle, you always have some type of a correction after a 5-wave impulse. So I really believe this is only the beginning for this coin, and we are about to see a lot more upside and a huge parabolic run that's gonna blow a lot of people away and make a lot of people super rich. So this is what I'm seeing from an Elliott wave perspective as well as a market cycle perspective. Now let's drop to the smaller time frame and take a look at what's happening on the daily for Velo. So on the daily candlesticks, we also see a full Elliott wave cycle here. You can see wave one, wave two, wave three, wave four, and our 5th wave right here. Then we do get an ABC correction down. As expected, according to Elliott wave principle, we have a very nice ABC correction down here. And the other thing that we can start to see here with Velo is the early signs of either a double bottom or an inverse head and shoulders pattern forming. So if you guys didn't watch my video yesterday, it's all about trading patterns, and I go in depth over an hour-long video talking all about the different trading patterns in crypto and the most common patterns that we see in these markets and how to apply them to increase your profitability in the crypto markets. Now you can see we do have a left shoulder here, a head right here, and we may be forming a right shoulder right now. We'll have to see. If we start to bottom out right here, this would be a very clean inverse head and shoulders pattern. If we don't bottom out right there for a right shoulder, we could form a double bottom pattern instead, which would look something like this, where the market goes right back down to that lower support level, finds support down there, and starts to turn around. But with that full Elliott wave cycle here on the daily time frame, I do believe we will start to see another bullish impulse wave, considering the fact that we do have 5 waves up here and an ABC correction down. So with that 5-wave impulse and the ABC correction down, we would be looking for wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and another bullish Elliott wave impulse sequence forming as a result of this ABC correction being completed here. Now, on the 5-day time frame, Velo still reminds me a lot of early day Bitcoin back in the day in 2015 and 2016, when Bitcoin had a bear market and started forming higher highs and higher lows before the 2017 bull market. And you can see Bitcoin did get chopped around a lot right here as it was forming its uptrend before before it really established its uptrend and went vertical and went all the way to a new all-time high. So I see a very similar thing over here on Velo. We are getting chopped around a lot, but we're still making higher highs and higher lows, and we're building momentum consistently over time in preparation for a parabolic run up to a new all-time high. And I personally think this run on Velo will be very vertical, especially once it can build enough momentum to really start going parabolic like Bitcoin did over here. As you can see, once Bitcoin built enough momentum, the price of Bitcoin really went vertical and parabolic. So I personally believe Velo will see a very similar kind of run where once we build enough momentum and start to really establish our uptrend here, it's just going to get more and more vertical and really go nuts. So that pretty much sums up my video on Velo. Again, my big picture targets are between $3.50 and $5 per coin, and I do believe we will break out to a new all-time high. It's only a matter of how high the market is going to go above its old all-time high level. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. Make sure that you apply for the one-on-one coaching. If you guys have been having a hard time learning how to trade and invest in these markets, maybe you feel like you've been buying a lot of tops and selling a lot of lows, then my one-on-one coaching program is for you. It makes learning how to trade easy and profitable so you guys can start making money in these markets right away. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay profitable out there.